The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to a later than normal version of the Bostonian versus the Book.
West
Dave
Coast.
Sharapan, the Book West Coast show today.
West Coast show.
Dave Sharapan, Bostonian, Matt Perrault. Live on YouTube, live on Twitter, replayed on Sports Grid TV, replayed on Sirius XM channel 159. For you guys, it's no different. You guys live. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being flexible. Doctor's appointment for Mr. Sharapan. Everything check out okay? We good, sir?
I think so. Didn't see the doctor, did the tests and all this other stuff. And I said to the wonderful women who took off some of the hair on my chest on the way out with those things, I said, in your non-professional opinion, everything look okay? And the woman said, in my non-professional opinion, we'll wait for the doctor to call you on Friday.
Okay.
And I said, you're really good. Have a great day.
You ever do the waxing of your chest? Ever did that?
Never occurred to me to even try.
I did it for a while, for a girlfriend of mine for a while.
Really? I mean, you could manscape it. You waxed it.
It was before. It was back in the late. It was back in the early part of like 2003 and 4 and 5. And she was like, deathly.
Were you in love?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She liked it smooth.
Oh yeah. She. It was back when that was very in, like that. Like guys shouldn't have any hair. Time period. Like period.
Bro, did you do it yourself?
Oh God, no. Went
to a joint and got it done?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In Alabama?
No, Omaha. And actually, well, yeah, no, all in Omaha. Yeah, it was in Omaha.
They got waxing places in Omaha?
Cool. Yeah.
For men?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm friends with the girl that used to do it. I'm still friends with her today on Facebook. We'll talk on Facebook from time to time. She was cool. So yeah, that the first time it may be one of the most painful. She went with me and it was like she was like laughing funny. Like she thought it was hysterically funny. For the first time was painful. And then after that,
it hurts.
It hurt, baby. There's no debate on that. It hurts. And how women do it on that part of their body, I have no idea.
Oh,
like, yo, man, like, what are you doing? Because up here hurt enough, like around the nipples hurt enough. You go down south below the belt line. Oh, man, I was not doing that. Like, no, thank you. We're not going near that part. And women do it consistently. And yikes. Yeah.
They're tougher than us.
100%.
Yeah, 100. I mean, they have babies. They get this. They get, just wax it. Clean it up. What? No,
Nope.
man. I had a little tear. I shed a little tear. I don't say much.
Oh, the first when it pops up the first time, it's like, oh my gosh, that's the most painful thing in the world. And then it gets easier as it goes because the hair follicles it gets looser. But you're like, it's tight in the beginning and it's rip and it hurts like unbelievable amounts. Like the point, like they rip and then they'll put pressure down on it because it hurts less when you press on it.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's the one way of like surviving your way through it is that they'll rip it off and then they'll press their hands on it.
Wow.
It stings like a mother. Yeah.
Okay.
That was about a 2.5-year experiment. And then I stopped doing that. That was about 15 years ago. So haven't done that in a while.
What was that woman's name?
Oh, we're not getting into this now.
All right.
She's a source of a lot of issues in my life. A lot of things in my life were altered for that relationship. Like, yes. So to this day, it still alters things in my life, unfortunately.
I mean, I'd have to draw the line somewhere. Like, I really like it when you shave your chest. Well, I really like it when you do these other things too.
That was the trade-off.
Oh.
You like this, I like this. You do this, I'll do that. Okay.
I drew the line though when that one told me, I'm not getting rid of this cat. I said, I'm deathly allergic. I can't be over here with the cat. She goes, you could take medicine.
Oh.
Okay. I mean,
To
she
be in a
picked- she
relationship,
picked
take
Samson-
medicine.
She picked Samson the cat over me.
I
All
get
right.
it. I
She
can
did
see
good.
people. I mean, that's today's world. That's not that crazy. You know, people will do that. If you weren't going to get married, if you're going to marry the person, then that was kind of the symbol.
We
that she
were going to
wasn't-
move to a place together and live
Yeah,
together.
but
I said,
she
"You
wasn't
can't
really
bring
going to
the
marry.
cat. I'm
And
gonna- I
but you
can't
learned
breathe."
that she wasn't really in long term. Like if she's picking a cat over you, kind
Yeah,
of
that was easy.
you know, it's time to move on. Like, oh, picking the cat over me. Goodbye. See you
So
later.
your mother can take the cat. Let's go.
Right.
You know, we can. You can go see the cat at your mother's. I can't breathe. I could die. Oh,
well.
just take that medicine. You'll be fine. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't.
Not-
you take
not-
medicines. Goodbye. That's
To
it.
be in a relationship.
Shave your chest. No, I like it. I'll keep it tight and close.
Yeah.
Go get that waxed.
You gotta remember though, like this was a day in time, like being single in your 20s. Like you gotta go back to that part of like 2002, 3, 4. World was different 15, 20 years ago. Being single, different. I couldn't imagine, could not imagine being 20, 25 years old right now. The world was hard enough, but watching my college kids, watch what they go through, watch what the kids at UNLV go through. It's unbelievable. Like every single one of them has a horror story about being bullied, cyberbullied.
Ooh.
All of them. Like bad, like stuff that you're like, holy crap. They're like, yeah, like anxiety and like going home from school and like not being able to go to class and like really bad stuff. And popular, not popular, jock, not jock. Bad.
Oh, well.
I feel for your daughters, man.
Oh, I'm learning something about life every day.
They're in a tough
Every
spot.
Single day. And
Being
then I got the
always-
kids that I do the cash considerations with. I mean, Newbie just turned 30, but Yanitzi's 27 in New York.
Yeah.
Single. You should hear the stories.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
oh.
unbelievable. I mean, the idea that when I guess I had cell phones when I was in my 20s, obviously, but like this constant, like I am available to you at every moment. And if I'm not, there's something I'm actually consciously not available for you. I don't know how they deal with that. Like when you're dating someone generally in your early 20s, you're somewhat insecure, both men and women are somewhat insecure, and they want to keep tabs on each other as to what you're doing and where you're going and who you're with. If you don't answer your phone or answer a text message or something, you can be found in so many different ways. Oh, you posted at 10:30 at night. I saw that tweet. Oh, I saw that Instagram post. Oh, I saw that Facebook. You like someone's Facebook post, like whatever it might be. It's nuts. The stalking level is insane. It was bad enough when I was in my 20s, they could stalk you. Now it's like you leave a cyber trail. You got to shut your phone off or say like my phone died, which is the obvious lie. Oh, my phone died. Like, what do you mean your phone died? Your phone never dies. It died today.
Sign me up to see you later. Like I where were you? I don't know. Well, do you want to know where I was? Nope.
Right?
No. I was home watching a game. Where were you? I was out. Okay. Like now, I don't know. I didn't worry about it then. I mean, you know, I used to go to Barnes and Noble for 3 hours and read books and go home.
I'll put this up because
that's what I did for fun.
This is too good. I can't put the entire thing, and it won't fit on the whole screen.
Oh, no.
But
What are you up to right now?
Since we're talking about this now, I was gonna add this, but I'll add it anyway because I wasn't going to, but now I'm going to because
You have to.
I was talking with
Made the
Steph.
executive decision that
I was talking with Stephanie about this. Stephanie Smalls is going to do this on her show today a little bit, but get a load of this. Okay.
All right.
There are 20 different ones. I can only fit so much on this, but this is making the rounds on the internet right now. List of places women absolutely refuse to go on a first date. And thank you to the ladies who reached out to me to help me make this list. Okay. Number 1, Cheesecake Factory. Number 2, Applebee's. Number 3, Chili's. Number 4, Chipotle. Number 5, Olive Garden. Number 6, the movies. Number 7, Your House. Number 8, any fast food chain. 9, Buffalo Wild Wings. 10, Wingstop. 11, Red Lobster.
Okay.
Like, what are we doing, boys? Like, this is not a good. If this is where guys are taking women on first dates, we got a problem.
Where should you take them on a first date?
Buffalo Wild Wings and Wingstop should not be on this list.
You don't like wings?
You should not be going to Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop on a first date.
Why not?
Why not?
What if she likes wings?
I mean, the general opinion of women is that they're not going to, unless she suggests it, I'm going to say 95% of women would say no to Buffalo Wild Wings or to B-dubs.
Really?
Wingstop. Yeah. On a first date? Yes. Yes.
What if she says yes?
Well, if she wants to go, that's fine. But this is not, I mean, all of these things are having to do with eating. And I was
Do
talking
you
to
want to
Stephanie.
take her to Cleaver, spend a nickel, and be miserable?
No, I don't think you should eat ever on a first date. I don't think first dates should be anything to do with food. I don't think it's too awkward. You don't know what they like. You don't know what it's an awkward situation. First dates should be light and casual and just like somewhere you can go and talk. And that's it.
Which is where?
I think, well, for me, it would be like a farmer's market or a street fair, and you could go either grab a drink somewhere or grab coffee.
Put pins in my eyes listening.
You got to go somewhere you can actually have a conversation with somebody. Get to know.
Dinner's a really good spot. I mean,
no,
a quiet place, a quiet booth at Applebee's is great.
I hate eating. I think it's awkward. Eating in general is awkward with a person you don't know. I want casual. I want a way out too. I want a way if it's really going weird.
You got a different. That's a different standard.
I can get out.
Way out.
Yeah, I want a way out. If it's awkward and weird, like, okay, I'm going to go over here. You go over here. See you later. Bye. You can just go and on your way. If you're in a public place and it's simple and it's easy, parks are the same thing. I want conversation and casual. I don't want anything sit down. I don't want to be locked into a booth. I don't want to be locked into ordering, who's paying what, what she's ordering.
It's understood you're paying.
Of course. As the that's our world, but it's not, Dave, anymore. I mean, I agree with you.
Well, I suggest I'm paying. Like, it's simple.
But they get mad.
But like I tell my daughters, offer to pay.
See?
Every time, offer to pay.
And some get mad. Some, if you're paying it, whoa. We're not, you're not paying. Okay. If you're no, I asked you out. It's my response. No. Okay. Well, now there's that all awkward situation of like, well, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be archaic, but I think that's the guy's role. Well, that's an antiquated way of thinking. It's not the way it's done anymore. Okay.
Part of the problem, and I can ask Stephanie this next time she comes on, is what do you want? They don't know what they want. So now we're going to make lists where you can't go. Well, where can we go?
She agreed with me, though. You shouldn't have food. Food is out. Food's awkward.
Oh, my God.
I don't think
can't have food. Can't have drinks.
Going to the movies too.
Can't go to movies. Can't go to church. Used to go to church. Can't go to church no more.
For a
non-denominational. People used to meet at church for the first time.
That's different. Hold on, that's different. Meeting somebody in church is different than taking them to church on a date. Two different things.
I guarantee there's people down south that go to church on a date and then go to lunch after. Two things that you say are crossed off the list.
Yes, for me. Yes, both those things are. Yes, absolutely. Yes. But I think you're probably right about that because Wednesday would probably be a time they would go on a date. They wouldn't go on Sunday, but they'd go on Wednesday. Yeah, I could 100% see a Wednesday church date, which is so awkward and weird to me, but some people might find that thing to be endearing.
Seriously, nothing is. But I went on it out with the girls in Curacao.
Right.
They said, we're going to the club. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to go to the club. And they're like,
hell no.
Dave, come to the club with us. And I went to the club in Curacao. And I had been to the clubs in like California. I had been to the clubs in Florida.
Right.
Other kind of clubs, gentlemen's clubs, all kinds of things. I showed up at this club trying to be cool with the locals. And they slapped me up against that wall and frisked me so hard. I didn't think I was making it out of there. And they're like, let's dance. Is dancing a good first date?
Not personally, no. But some people would say yes. If you're trying to close the deal on the first date, yes.
That's rule number one.
If you're trying to close the deal, dancing on a first date is a good idea. Yes.
There's no title shots on a first date. I don't care who
I would
you
agree
are,
with that,
what you think, what you're trying to do. Because if that's your goal, you probably should just go get a title shot. Don't worry about the date.
I agree, but I think if you're trying to close on the first date, dancing would probably be a good idea. I generally do not do that. And I can't really dance anyway. I don't really find dancing fun, and it's loud. I want to talk. I'm a talker. I want to have a conversation.
That's what I mean. Everybody's different. Stephanie's making lists. I'm going to talk.
No, that's not her list. She just put the list. She grabbed onto it and tweeted it out. I saw it. It's all over the place right now. It's all over Instagram. Women are commenting like crazy on this.
They're making all these lists. Then what are they doing?
I mean, there's some truth to it. I'm sorry, but BW3 and Wingstop should not be a first date spot unless she asks.
If
Okay?
you like B-dubs and you want to watch games,
You can't do that, Dave. On a first date, you can't do that. Even in our profession, you can't do that. Like, I'm a single guy. I would never in a million years go on a first date. I haven't had a first date since my divorce. So my divorce was finalized a week ago. I've not had a date.
man, you remember how excited that day was? I was so happy for you just to be able to breathe. Oh my God.
When I got the paperwork done. It's 1 year. I've been single for 1 year now. And I don't know when I'll date again.
I was like, oh.
I told you. That's right. Right. We were coming out of that meeting. Right. We were coming out of the meeting, and I pulled you aside before we go in. Is what I tell you. You're like, what? Like, I signed the papers an hour ago. We're good.
I almost started crying. I was so happy. I really was. I was like, oh, thank you. I hugged you. I was like,
I was so happy. I was so happy. I was like, oh, gosh, it's over.
Let's go have this meeting.
Yeah, right.
And that jag-off, that guy didn't tell us nothing either. Oh,
but I mean, we walked in. I was like, yep, just to let you know. I'm like, yeah, it's done. So it's been a year. But it's like when I go back into the dating pool, whenever that might be, I won't be going to Buffalo Wild Wings. And I love BW3s and I love Wingstop. I Wingstop 2 days ago, right before that was my last meal before I started phase 1 of the Hard 75, second phase.
Okay.
I had Wingstop. That was my last cheat meal, was having Wingstop because I love Wingstop. Would not take someone on a date there. That would not be, no.
Watch a game, get some lemon pepper. I mean, hey, let's go.
I get it, but that's not
if she wants to do
if she wants
to do that.
Yeah, if it's her idea, then oh my gosh, if she's the one picking that, then I think you can find yourself a winner. If she's like, let's go have some wings and hang out and have some beer. All right, okay, interesting.
And that's the way every one of my daughters is going to be. It already is. That's the problem. Yeah.
That's not a problem. Why's that a problem?
Because every guy wants to go out with them, and every guy's like, oh, this is the one. She likes sports. Huh. Yeah, she got a better arm than you too, most likely. But yeah, let's play catch. Yeah. Yeah. They love wings. Yeah.
It's hard though. I mean, I've gone back and forth on this. So I married somebody not in my profession, not in the media.
Right.
Every other person I'd had a serious relationship with in my life was in the media. All of them. And so I met someone who I made like a conscious decision not to date people in the media anymore because it wasn't working. And so I was dating non-media people. And then I met my ex-wife, and that was a revelation because we had two different things.
Right.
And so I don't know now what I would like, except I know she has to have a passing interest. She can't be angry about it. She can't go again. Right. You're doing this again. You have to understand my job. Like that was always the thing that my ex and I used to fight over all the time, because she would be like, you don't have to do this. You want to do this. I'm like, no, I have to do this. Like, this is important part of my job. I'm like, no, you don't. You can do whatever you want. Like, no. I need to watch this game. This is important. I know it seems like it's also for fun. I'm very lucky. I'd be doing this anyway. It just happens to be part of my job. And that is a difficult hurdle for some people to come over. They don't really understand that.
Biggie
Media
J
people
27 just came in a chat and said everybody loves wings. Biggie J's right. Everyone loves wings.
It's my favorite food. It's my favorite food.
Wings.
I would never take a girl on a date there. And I love Wingstop. Wingstop's my favorite wings. I struggle because I've tried almost every wing place here in Nevada. I like some of them, but at the end of the day, I go back to Wingstop. I just go back. I don't want to. I don't like chain. I'd rather go local. But I go back to Wingstop just because it's
consistent.
It's good. It's just good. It's good wings, and some wings are small. Some wings are too.
I'm thinking the next iteration of Perrault and title shots. I don't think it's a media person.
Probably not.
Just putting it out there.
You
got to find the right one, like that just understands it and gets it, like the whole thing.
Media people get it. It was the why I love dating media people was because they just understood. There was no questions. There was no. They didn't have to explain what I was doing. Like they just instinctively knew what I was doing. Why are you tweeting that? Why are you doing a Twitter Spaces? Why are you doing this? Why are you going to that event? Like they just understood. Right. It comes with the territory.
Right.
So not having to explain that is really nice. The difference for me oftentimes was that my schedules were so wonky.
Wonky schedules.
It had to fit in with someone who was on a similar schedule, made it easy to date them. We don't have that problem now. We do, we do whatever we want. So that problem's gone, luckily for us. So, anyways, what happened last night? Diamondbacks. Well, game 7 in Philadelphia. They go and win game 6 and game 7, 4-2 win. As you pointed out astutely, 6-0 now. When they steal a base, they win. That was on with you and Ranieri. I came on in the first inning and I said, they stole the base, game over.
Right.
we were joking, but it was true. They stole the base. They scored first and they stole the base. Yep, they did.
And
they got it right
back. So that was, but yeah, as soon as they stole the base and got the lead, I really thought, all right, it is over. Man, it was impressive. The bullpen again shut them down. They got the lead, shut them down. Was it?
Your analogy was spot on, though. I thought about it more. It was spot on. You said it yesterday. The Phillies became the 3-point shooting team in the NCAA tournament.
Ugh.
And when they went cold, they scored so many of their runs from solo home runs.
Ugh.
And because they weren't able to hit the ball out of the ballpark because the Diamondback bullpen got hot. And you got to give Lavulo, I mean, he was really good. Lavulo was really good with the bullpen. He did he was really good with who to come in, when to put guys on, when to figure out what guys to face.
He veered off the plan, though. Like, he put a guy in the 7th when he was only going to pitch the 8th because he knew, I got to get this out.
Yeah.
This guy cannot get on base. I got to give him my best shot right now. He was awesome.
Yeah. And to my Red Sox brethren, be happy for Mike Hazen. Be happy for Lavulo. Stop doing this like those are our guys. Why are they there? Why aren't they here thing? I don't. Like, it's frustrating whenever somebody comes from the Red Sox or a Boston sports team and Boston sports fans get pissed off. Bob Lobel, a famous guy who's now battling a he's pretty sick, but he used to say the line, why can't we get guys like that? Whenever somebody would leave, it was his tagline on the local news. He's worked with WBZ in Boston. And he would, whenever somebody left Boston and did well, he would say, why can't we get guys like that?
Oh,
and that's the method. That's what I'm seeing a ton of from Red Sox fans on social media going like, Mike Hazen is from the Red Sox. Why isn't he the GM here? He was able to go build a team for pennies in Arizona. He hires Torey Lavulo, takes him off the Red Sox bench, and he goes and wins, is winning the National League, playing for the World Series. Just be happy for them. Like, don't worry about where they came from, because it diminishes their accomplishment in my mind when you do that, because who knows if they could have done it in Boston. They did it in Arizona. That's all they need to know about that.
Right.
But the Phillies have to ask themselves some questions, do they not, about the way their lineup is built?
I mean, maybe, how do you go back home Harper didn't get a hit in Philly, game 6 and 7. Yep. That's a huge part of the lineup. Bohm hit a solo shot yesterday, but otherwise he don't get a hit in 4 or 5 games. Middle lineup struggled. Bryson got that hit to go ahead for the Phillies, stand on a second base. I could hear his voice as he was just screaming and beating his chest. And I was like, all right, if the Diamondbacks aren't going to get there and I'm going to have a small win on this damn exacta, at least it was Bryson that did it to me. Because right then I thought, son of a gun. It was Bryson that's going to do it. I can live with this. I was like, all right, I think the Phillies might win this. And then they answered in the 5th. As soon as they answered and went ahead, I was like, that's it. And I was texting back and forth with Norm, a couple other Philly fans that I know.
Did they go? Did Norm go?
And that he did not know. And he was stressed. He was like, and as soon as they got out of the 7th, I think it was 2, 3, 4 hit in the 7th. He said it's done.
Oh yeah. Once they went through that, once they got through knowing that they could record a win without having to face Schwarber or Harper again, you felt like, okay, they are in trouble, because the bottom of the lineup did nothing. Castellanos hit a solo shot in his first at bat and didn't get a hit again the rest of the series.
Oh, for the rest of the series.
I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. So just in terms of what the bottom of the lineup really, really struggled for the Phillies, and they went cold. And when you go cold at home, playing at home is somewhat of a detriment because everyone's butt cheeks are so tight. They're not breathing. You can hear a pin drop in the place, and you know that, oh my gosh, we're going to lose. That's hard to play through. That's pressure. It's a detriment to be at home in that state, in that point. And it lets the road team just be carefree. You're playing with house money, stealing bases. You're going ahead. I mean, guys can get thrown out rounding first base, but you're scoring runs and you're padding the lead. I was so impressed with the Diamondbacks. I was
so impressed
with them. They're just such an interesting, fun team to watch. Marte is such a fun MVP for him. We bet that. Congratulations. My gosh, the prices on that going into the series were enormous.
And he's got a hit. He's got the longest hitting streak in the Diamondbacks postseason history, something. I don't know. He's on base all the time. I was talking to Joe on SportsGrid. I said, bet him to get a hit today. He gets a hit every game. Took him for 3 at-bats, but he got on. Corbin Carroll is an unbelievable player.
He's so fast.
He's so good.
Fast.
And the way that they pitch to location to then get defense. They have strikeout, miss swing and miss stuff. I don't know. I thought Philly did everything they could have. They tried. I mean, they threw Wheeler in at the back end of that game to stop. They just knew when it got to be 4-2. It was like, all right, can't allow another run.
No more. Right.
That's it. So whatever. You can't go to Kimbrel. You can't go. It's over. You throw Wheeler in there. He came in and got the outs necessary, and the Phillies couldn't challenge with it. It was just great. It was the whole thing.
Timely
all that
hitting.
being said, can they win?
Yes, they can. This number is. I disagree with this number entirely.
Really?
Entirely disagree. Minus 180 to me. This is not right. Rangers are too big of a favorite. I don't care if they have home field or not. It doesn't matter to me. Rangers having home field is a detriment to me, not a benefit.
So I went after we did the show. I went and had lunch, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out, all right, what am I going to do here? This series price is if Philly wins. Has to be. So what is the series price if Arizona wins? So I text a couple guys, and they're like, it's not much different. I'm like, you guys, it's going to be minus 150, minus 160. It shouldn't be, but it is. All right, we'll see. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's paying any attention. Everybody's like, they're paying attention to hockey. They're getting ready for the NBA. There's no, it was an afterthought yesterday. I can't believe it with a lot of people, but it was. So I did one thing yesterday. I mean, I had the tickets, and it's almost like studying for a final, and you walk in trying to cram. I did it my freshman year. I'd be like walking to take a test, and I'd be reading notes and stuff and going, all right, just remember this, remember that.
The feeling.
And then I got to my sophomore year, and I was like, sorry, Will, fuck it. I studied all I could. I walked, listened to music, got in the right space, sat down, took the test. Results are going to be what they are. Anything I'm going to do from that walk to class wasn't going to help. Just relax, listen to some Stevie Wonder, get in the right place, whatever it was. So I'm sitting at lunch, and I go, yep, I got to go bet Texas for some more to win the World Series. It was minus 120. So I went and bet Texas for more just to add to the pile because I knew they're in. Yeah. And I still wasn't sure who was going to win last night. And I had both sides. So I said, it's going to be a better price. And I still don't know who's pitching for Texas. But if I get Eovaldi, he's probably going to be a pretty big favorite.
Right.
If Texas wins.
Game 1.
Right. Then we can go take plus 250 or something on Arizona.
Yeah. So I bet Philly at plus 120 before game 6. They lost game 6. They lost game 7. So then, but I bet plus 142 on the D-backs last night to win.
Right.
To hedge up that plus 120.
Yep.
I'm going to bet the D-backs here and I'm going to see how the prices go and see if I can get plus on both sides. Because if the D-backs win game 1, what does the price go to? If they get home field.
Small favorite.
Right. Yeah.
Or pick them. I mean, it
right?
depends.
Or
Like if
pick.
they come again, I would map it out with the pitchers.
Mhm.
So I don't know. The sooner we get fought in there, I'm good with.
He's
My
phenomenal.
man
Is
is
pitching.
zinging it, slinging it.
But Kelly
all
at
of it.
home, I mean, if you throw Kelly at home, you're going to feel pretty good about throwing Merrill Kelly at home. Him on the road's the problem. So I'd want to see Kelly at home. And I
don't care where we pitch him. I don't know what he did in Philly. That game he pitched in Philly, game 6, to keep the season alive.
Yep.
I'm good with him starting
Anywhere
in Arizona, in Texas, on the moon. I serious. It don't matter to me. Like he was a dog. He was pitching smart. He was moving the ball all over the place. He didn't want to come out of that game.
Am I insane to say this? Am I insane? I think the pitching matchup favors the Diamondbacks.
They got the better bullpen.
Yes.
Now we got to match starters. Gallen, Evaldi, pick them. I mean, I don't know.
Agreed. I agree.
You got then
Montgomery
Kelly and Montgomery.
Yeah, right. Montgomery's going to go into game 2.
All right, I got to go do the splits and see how the Diamondbacks did against lefties and all that other stuff. But that ain't that far. That's a slight advantage, maybe, the way he's pitching right now to Texas. Slight. Then what? Game 3. Then what?
Well, I mean, it's for me, game 3 is probably going to be fought. Yeah, we fought. Yeah, he'll go game 3.
I would think so.
And then you're countering with Scherzer. Max will go game 3.
Okay, give me fought.
Right? Right?
Give me fought.
I agree.
In that spot. Because
and then you're going with Thompson and Ginkel and Sewell. And look, I think the reason why I don't like the price is because this assumes the Rangers in that bullpen gets people out. I don't trust it. Who do you trust in that Rangers bullpen? Throw Chapman, please. Like, give me all of them. Rangers have a bullpen problem in this World Series. A 7-game series is a problem in my mind for a timely hitting team. When they get the lead, they're going to sit on it. It's 3-2 in the 6th inning. They're going to sit on it. They're lined up in that bullpen to run out there and close out 10, 11 outs and get to wins. I don't see the same path for the Rangers.
Listen, the Rangers got the best lineup.
They do, 100%. But the Astros were their rival. Okay, the Astros, they had blood hatred for that team.
Yeah,
they don't have anything with Diamondbacks. This is not going to have the same juice. This series is not going to have the same.
Oh, I don't know, man.
This is different. This is the World Series. Okay, so it's got the juice. It's got the
I think
juice
the
of the World
Diamondbacks
Series.
were 3-1 against them in the regular season. By the way,
Diamondbacks should not be. This should not be a minus 180 line. This number does not make any sense to me. D-backs are live to win the World Series.
The line should be minus 120. Would I bet it yesterday? I knew that was the right number.
Yep.
And I said, all right, I'm going to try to this is what would happen in the risk room. Like somebody would randomly just pop into one of our properties and like send, 3,600 to win 3 dimes on the Rangers to win a World Series at minus 120. And I'd be like, that guy thinks that the Rangers are going to win game 1. Okay. Or he thinks this number is going to be adjusted because of something. Well, the number was adjusted because Arizona won. Why would it adjust? Like, why would it be pick them against Philly and then minus 170 against Arizona? I don't see much difference between those two teams. Now we see the difference is the pitching. Well, if they find a way to keep the ball in the ballpark, they're going to be in every game.
Yeah, it's a much different ballpark than Philadelphia and Texas for that matter.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a desert, so the ball does travel. That's a big ballpark. It doesn't give it nearly as many home runs.
Brother Dan just came in the chat and said, I didn't study in college. That is a complete fallacy lie. Talk about somebody not studying in college. Brother Dan, very guilty. You didn't study in college?
Everything I did was outside of this. I tell my kids all the time, everything I did that got my career had nothing to do with I graduated with a 2.8 GPA.
Did you really?
Yeah. Everything I did, I was outside of the classroom. I spent hours upon hours. My professors were so angry with me because I would get notes from the athletic department for missing class because I was broadcasting games all over the country. So I would just walk in and give them notes, and they'd be like, "Where were you? California. Where were you? Ohio. Where were you? Florida. Why? Calling games. What?" Like, it was awesome. I had constant notes being written by the athletic department to get me out of class.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. So like, but they hated me for it. They hated me. I took a class. I had to take an elective writing class. I took a Chinese poetry class my sophomore year, and the professor took me aside.
Hold on. It was what?
A Chinese poetry class. So I took it because it was on this list of electives, and I had to take one like creative writing, creative type of course for my gen ed, for my comm degree. And so I took this class, and I'm this like really like snotty, stuck up, I don't know what you want to call it, highfalutin, like, hold your nose type of like pretentious professor. I remember
teachers are probably all like that.
Oh yeah. He took me aside after like the third or fourth week, and I'd been gone for a couple of, he said, "Matthew, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Why are you in this class?" and I said, "What do you mean?" I go, I like this. I want to learn about this. This is neat." And he's like, "You're never going to use any of this." I go, "I'm not going to use any of this stuff, professor." I was like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "I'm going to be a broadcaster. This has got nothing to do. Everything I'm doing here is just for fun. I want to broaden my horizons." And it pissed him off. He wanted like,
what did he want? A poet in there?
I guess so. He was pissed. He's like, "I don't think you should be in this class. I would recommend dropping it if I were you." I said, "No, I'm not going to drop this course." I go, "I want to take this class." He gave me a C. I was fine. I passed it. It's all I cared about. I go, "I need it for an elective. It's a gen ed elective I had to take. That's all I needed it for." It was awesome. But I remember him looking at me like I had 5 heads when I gave him that piece of paper.
He was probably steaming.
Oh, he wanted to burn me. He wanted to kick me. He thought I was missing class for like, on my own. Like,
right.
When I handed him a piece of paper that said, "Please excuse Matthew Perrault because he's broadcasting games for the University of Massachusetts student station for our women's basketball team." He was just like, "Why are you here?" I was like, it was awesome. I loved it. That was like one of my most favorite moments of college, is handing those pieces of paper as to why I was missing class, because they couldn't do anything about it. They wanted to rip me, but they couldn't.
Yeah, see, I was missing class because I was sleeping, or I was home watching a Cubs game or something, or my brothers and I were at the arcade playing NBA Jam.
So you weren't studying then. But I was honest.
We found ways. I stayed up when everybody went to sleep and studied. Do
you remember
ways to do it?
Do you remember the yellow Cliff Notes? That's all I got. That's all I got through college.
I still have them.
Do you really? That's all I got through college was the yellow Cliff
They're
Notes.
in the storage unit.
That's literally like, I would, like, I took Rockford Jocks. I had all these like electives I didn't need to take, Geology 101, and like these stupid courses that like 150 kids in there. And like, I was like, I had no interest in any of the crap that they'd make you do. I still think kids, I say to my kids today at UNLV, I'm like, the fact they make you take gen ed courses is stupid. You're paying for this. Why are you having to take gen ed courses? You should take what you want to take or what's a requirement for your major. Otherwise, I took geology. I took algebra 2. What the hell? Algebra 2? I'm a broadcaster. What do I need algebra 2 for?
I would argue it teaches you how to think, 1, but 2, it teaches you what you don't want to do either.
Fine.
I took a theater class.
I'm a comm major. What the hell am I doing taking Rockford Jocks for?
I took a theater class at Penn State that I realized, like, when I was a finance major, it was going to be like Wall Street, all that stuff. And I took this theater class and I liked it. I loved it. I didn't like it. I loved it. And I was like, why can't I do this? And I remember my mother was like, that isn't going to get you a job.
It might have, though, if you want to be an actor.
I know.
It could have.
I was
a film minor. People are like, "Why are you a film minor?" Because I love film and I love audio. I might go be an audio tech. I thought about going into that. Like, that would be my career. I'd be an audio tech, move to Hollywood and do audio. Yeah. That was and I loved it for that reason of watching film and watching how how sound was done and how they would do different things in post-production to make the audio crisp and clear and everything else. I love that stuff. But that should have been my choice. Instead, I was being forced to take classes that I had absolutely no interest. Like, Madeline made a great point to me the other day, because she hates homework, and every kid, she's now in that point where she's like, homework's stupid. And I'm like, hold on, you have to learn homework because it's important. It's process. It's about learning, blah, blah, blah. But she was like, I don't understand. If everything I do in the future, it's going to have spell check, and everything I do, I can do on a calculator. Why do I have to learn these things? I really didn't have an answer for her. I was like, it's kind of true.
The kids know. They say that, and you're just like, you're right.
Like,
you're right. I don't know what to tell you, but just do your damn homework.
Right.
Like
That's
I
what
don't
said.
I can't give you an answer, but that's the rules of the school you go to.
Yep.
So until you go to your own school or you have a job, you got to abide by their rules.
I didn't know what
Do
to
the
say to her.
homework.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
she's
care.
like, because we check her math homework with my calculator, and she's like, "Why are you checking my math homework? Like that's how I'm going to be doing stuff." I'm like, "Right, but you should know how to do it." And she's like, "But I'm going to do it with a calculator." It's just like, that's kind of true. And she's like, "Shouldn't I know how to type? Isn't it more important to know how to type than it is to learn how to spell?"
Amen.
And I was like, I don't really have an argument for this, Madeline. I was
Amen.
like, yes. I was like, I learned how to type very early. I learned how to type when I was in 6th grade, basically. And I've learned I can fly. And it's helped me dramatically in college and in, proposals and everything else. I couldn't imagine having to hunt and peck and do it with the fingers. I can roll. I don't know how many minutes, I can type per minute, but it's pretty good. So yes, I was like, that's a good point. Yes, it's a very important skill. Learn how to type.
Well,
Let the computer do it.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing too, like we'll ask the chat. We got a whole bunch of people in here. You guys like the show. You guys have most of you either gone to college or going to college or maybe never went to college. But what was your GPA? Like, what was your GPA? It does. I mean, we'll have every number in there. I mean, I
2.8.
graduated with a 3.3. I struggled. Like,
That's
I
good
thought
though.
that was
3.3 is
bad.
a B. That's a B.
It was almost a 3.5. It would have been an A.
Yeah, that's good. 3.3 is not struggling.
But I
That's good.
busted my ass to do that.
Oh, okay.
And I realized as the last year came, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? And I took a class on audio where we got to go sit in the studio, play music, and be a DJ. I was in heaven. I said, this is exactly, and the professor was the coolest black guy. His name was Mr. Jernigan. He had done a stint as a TV camera guy in Pittsburgh. So we had a lot of the same people because I interned at the TV station, competitor. And he listened to my tape and he goes, this is definitely what you should be doing, right? I said, thanks. Thank you, sir.
There it is.
He goes, no, he goes, that was good. He goes, and you like good music too. And I was like, my man, thanks. But it was just, I put them big headphones on.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
We had those big like cart machines where you had to put something in and then take it out, play the song. While the song was playing, you had the one thing on.
Next
you
one
got
left.
this on, then there was a read.
A record player. Yeah.
What the hell? It was a lot of work.
Get the 3-ring binders.
The whole thing.
The
whole thing.
I love telling my class, I'm like, you understand what we had to do when I first started in this business. It's like, you ever hear of splicing tape? They're like, what do you mean?
No, they'll never do that.
We actually had to physically edit with a razor blade and chalk.
What a razor blade like this.
We would go ahead. We would have 2 big wheels. The wheel would spin. We would go with the chalk. You'd write when you want to tape it. You take the reel off. You would slice it with a razor blade. You get tape. You go ahead and put it together. And that was your edit.
And then you forgot. It took so long physically to tape it together and do it that you forgot what the soundbite was.
Yep. And then it would catch as the tape would go through the player. It would catch and it would unravel the entire thing. It was unbelievable. I'll never forget when I walked in my sophomore year. My freshman year, I spent literally the entire, almost the whole semester learning how to completely dominate editing tape. I was awesome at it. Walked in my second semester sophomore year, all digital. The whole radio station.
Right. You're like,
why did I spend all that time learning how to do this? It was automatically all done for you. I was like, wait, you could do this on your own now? They're like, yeah, but we're still going to use carts. So you can still kind of use your stuff.
No, you're not.
Digitally, we're going to now transfer all of our commercials and all of our stuff, our sweepers are going to go over to digital. Never forget that moment when I walked in. I was like, I can't believe how much time I wasted. I was like, that was a complete waste of time.
We got some Mensa members in the group. We got a 3, a 3.5. Of course, Chef Benny's a 3.6. Of course,
of course.
3.25, 25, 26, 25, 3.6. C, get my degrees was my motto.
Yeah, there you go.
2.0. Oh, pardon me. We got a bachelor's 3.2 and an MBA 4.0 for JC.
4.0 MBA. All right.
Pardon me, sir.
See, that's because here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. That means when he got to do the work that he liked, he excelled. He excelled. That's the whole. That's the problem with paying $60,000 to go to college right now. As you spend all this money, you go into all this debt, and half the time you're doing shit you didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Broken. System's broken. And I teach in it. It's broken.
This is why Stevie Mack's the director of security. He's a 1.7. That's okay, Stevie Mack. And he's successful. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
Grades don't mean nothing. That's a lot of times. Kids, if you're watching this, disregard everything I'm saying right now. But get good grades. I mean, you should try.
Yeah.
But pick stuff you like.
But if you want to be in a profession where your degree matters, I have been a broadcaster for over 20 years. I've never had a single conversation about what I learned in school. Not a single one. I've never even been asked my GPA by a single person I was going to go work for.
It does
not matter.
Again, I don't know what to tell these kids like to major in. Like, what is your degree matter in? I don't know. I mean,
It matters if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a scientist.
There's
it matters.
doctors that got out there that got 2.0s too.
I know, but they went in, they have a degree in science in some form or fashion. They're undergraduate, and then they went to medical school. And went to medical school, you can't have a 2.0, you get kicked out. So, I mean, if you need to go to school for an undergraduate and you know you're going to go to the next level, doctor, lawyer, scientist, then that's fine. Then major whatever the hell you want to major in, get through it for 4 years, and then move on to the real time. But for me, I always knew my tape was what mattered. My experience is what mattered, not my book work, not what I did in the classroom. It's literally how I teach at UNLV. I tell the kids, you have to buy the book. If I could tell you not to, I'd say don't buy the book. I would love not to give you quizzes because the book means nothing. The book is just somebody patting their own pockets, requiring you to buy it. All the work we're going to do is like every Wednesday, we go in the podcast studio. That's your time. Get to work. That's when you're going to learn. That's when you're going to excel. That's how you're going to get better. And I mean, I teach the class based upon basically how I would want to go and learn. And it's been so good, 4 years so far, and kids like it and they enjoy it. And, I've seen 3 of my kids go on to get professional jobs. I hired one of them.
Right.
So, I mean, it's been fun to see. One of my students is the first ever female play-by-play for baseball for the Portland Sea Dogs, amazingly enough.
Yeah.
So it's just fun to watch these kids go and do this and watch them excel because they know what they want to do and they have a chance. Riley Pay, watch the name. Riley Pay is going to be somebody in this business. She's going to be, we'll see where, but Riley Pay is going to be a big person. Okay, ask the BVB. Because my DMs are open and Dave's are not, I get inundated with people asking me questions to ask Dave. So I got a bunch of them today, but almost all of them sound exactly like this. This comes from Greg. I'll read 2 actually, because one is like Nick it's not really he is a Brigade Proxy service member, and he has it's more of a statement than a question, but I'll read it after we do.
Excellent.
Greg.
Okay.
It says, Greg writes, Matt, I think it would be a cool idea to have Dave go over his exacta rundown and the process he has used to decide how many tickets he has bought, who he puts in his tickets, when he does it, etc. I know baseball playoffs are basically over now, and there are no sports close to the start of the playoffs, but I'm definitely intrigued to learn what he does and how he does it. It sounds exciting to hold all these tickets. How would you answer that question? What process did you use to wind up with both sides at plus 400 or more?
Waited for the path to be determined. So I didn't buy a ticket. Last year I did this, and I started buying tickets in September before the bracket was announced. And then with MLB, I learned that it wasn't. I thought they were going to reseed, which would make it very uncertain as to. It would make it much harder for the bottom to make it to the World Series because they would always have to play the best team. So they might have to go through the 3, the 2, and then the 1, essentially, or the 3 to 1 and then the 2. So this year I said, fuck it. I'm going to wait until the path is determined. May have cost me some prices. Maybe not. I didn't know. But I said, we'll wait until the thing comes out. So when it came out, I said, all right. In the National League, the Braves got to play the winner of the Phillies and who was it? Who the Phillies play the first round? 2 games.
You're making me blank on this. Hold on.
Milwaukee, no. Milwaukee played Arizona.
And then
the Phillies played the Marlins.
Marlins, thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Right.
So now could they win? Absolutely. So get the bare minimum longest odds tickets on the Marlins, but really buy the Phillies tickets because they're going to advance. Same thing. I really thought that the Diamondbacks were going to beat the Brewers. And I said, because last year I fell for the Central teams. You guys heard me say that all summer. I don't want to fall for the Central teams. I don't want to fall for the Central teams. And I didn't. I said, I'm not getting Milwaukee tickets. I'll get Diamondback tickets. So that's how those started. And I did not think the Dodgers were going to make it out of the National League. I just didn't think they had enough pitching. So I was like, all right, we're going to go in on those 3 teams, Atlanta, Philly, Diamondbacks. Essentially, I think one of those 3 is going. We'll see what happens. And in the American League, listen, I love Kevin dearly, supervisor at Circa, Baltimore guy. I didn't think Baltimore was going to go. They're the 1 seed. I'm like, all right, so what's the path to beating them? The 4-5 matchup. Texas or Tampa. Either one of those teams could win that, and either one of those teams could beat Baltimore. Buy the Texas tickets, buy the Tampa tickets. If Baltimore goes, all right, we're going to gamble a little that, and then I'm going to have to fix it if they get to the second round. If they don't get past the first round, I save the money. I don't have to buy the tickets. And the other one in the American League was the 2 seed was Houston.
Houston, right? Yeah.
And I did this last year, and I didn't get the Houston tickets until they were going to win to get in the ALCS. And I said, I'm not doing that again. I better get some Houston over, Atlanta, Houston over Philly, Houston over the Diamondbacks. At minimum, I better.
And remember, guys, also you were betting this even during series. So
this was all before. I did all this work before.
Okay,
that was where it started.
Okay,
then once Arizona advanced, they win 2 games, like they're in.
Yeah,
like perfect. Well, then you had to go buy other tickets to make sure that ticket either was added to live, whatever.
Right.
So now once we knew the 4 in each league, I had to go. When a team lost, I usually went and got another ticket on them. Like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, Houston's up 3-2 and Philly's up 3-2. You know what tickets I bought? Texas against Arizona. It was 80-1 3 days ago. It was 80-1. I'm like, guys, and because I had the other tickets. I was buying the ones as like the Phillies tickets. I probably have the most on a team. The number of tickets is probably on the Phillies.
Wow.
Because their odds they were adjusting as the favorite most of the way. So I was like, I got to get another ticket on the Phillies. They won another game.
I guess the long story short in all of this is that you put in hours of work on this. This was not like a one. You didn't go to the counter once and buy 2 tickets, Texas over Arizona, Arizona over Texas, and walk away. Like, it's not how you're doing this. This is constant, a daily thing you've been doing by going and buying tickets on a variety of systems and hoping to come out profitable.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my wife. Like, this is borderline. Last October, she thought this was ridiculous. She's like, "Why are you going to the sportsbook every day?" And I said, "Because I don't want to do it on an app." And it got me out of the house. But like, I had to go see a guy about a thing. Usually meant buying a ticket, buying 2 tickets or something, or getting there and the price being changed and having to go to another book. I got tickets from every book in town. Every single book in town. I had made a bet at Santa Fe in, I don't know, 6 months, maybe minimum. It's the one right closest to my house. I was so excited when I walked in there yesterday. Yeah. We went there and watched the game the other night.
Right.
I said, you know what? Maybe they got the same price on Texas as everybody else. Maybe. So I went and had a nice lunch by myself, and I said, I'll stop at the Fe and see what happens. and they had it. I was like, oh, I don't have to go downtown, So yes, it's a constant work in progress. But like I told you before, if I told you had to spend like, say, $8,000 to go collect 12,000 total,
Profit.
you get your eight. No, you get your 8 back, and you profit $4,000 in a month. Would you do it?
Of course.
If you gave an investment guy $8,000 and he told you in 30 days you're going to have a minimum, if things go the worst they could possibly go, I'm going to give you about $10,500. You're going to make 30% on your money. All right? 8,000, you're going to make $2,400. So 10,400. Wait a second. I'm going to give you 8,000. You're going to give me 30%. You're going to be my money back plus 30%. No risk.
In 30 days.
In 30 days. That's how long the baseball playoffs are. You'd kill for that. And if he told you that if you give me $8,000 and things go absolutely swimmingly perfect. Now, that's a long shot, but if things go really right, you're going to absolutely probably double your money and then some. Of course you do it.
100%.
No risk. The worst you can do is if it's Houston and Philly, the worst you could do is you're probably going to make, I don't know, say 25%. You're going to spend 8,000 and you might collect 10.
It's better than
you get
losing
all that 8,000 back plus another 2, and you had a lot of fun.
Yeah. On top of that, you had a lot of fun doing it, following it along and watching and waiting. It's true. Nick writes this is more of a statement than more of a question, but he writes in, I am definitely not one to send a lot of messages to people on Twitter. I'm more of a leave them a good review and let them be kind of guy. But since I've listened to you since the beginning and met Dave and you signing up for the contest, I figured I'd follow up. You seem to enjoy the interaction from time to time. I do. My Arizona future has a life. I ended up hedging with both Atlanta and Philly to win the NL. I don't remember the odds, but I ended up spending about $250 to do it. So my AZ future right now is worth $1,050 at this point. I connected with your show because I appreciate with the daily picks. I'm an everyday-ish gambler using strictly fun money. So about $25-50 a bet, as I said in my previous messages. No, $10.50 isn't life-changing, but also I want to come away with something. I haven't developed into what that's going to be as of now. Odds in my area have Texas at about minus 165. At most, I'm going to throw down $330 on Texas to come away with about $200 or $700 profit. Or maybe let it ride and enjoy the roller coaster of Texas's bullpen. There you go. I love the BVB. Tell the people over at Betting Pros to give you a raise as well, or let me tell them myself. Definitely appreciate your proxy service. Hopefully you guys will do it next year, because after 8 weeks of trying to talk 3 of my buddies out of picking the largest favorites on the board, I think I'm going to go ahead and add a second team and go off on my own next year. Not saying my picks don't lose. They definitely do, but telling people not to lay double digits on the road for favorites is getting tiring. LOL. I hope your brother is doing well with his farm. He's doing better. I hope your friend Daryl is doing better with cancer. He passed away, unfortunately. I hope Dave is all right with all these doctor's appointments. Nothing but good things coming your way in 2024. I don't know what TLDR. What does that stand for? Do you know?
TLDR. Talk later. I don't know.
Yeah, he writes TLDR at the end.
Put it in the chat. TLDR. What that means. Somebody in the chat guaranteed knows.
Yeah, he goes TLDR. Appreciate your daily show and answering my questions on BVB. I'm following up about my questions I sent in, letting you know that about my age of the future. Undecided if I'm going to hedge or not, but looks like I'm going to let it ride. If I use it, I'm going to use that cash to sign up for an additional entry for the circuit contest. And of course, use you guys as a proxy next year. That's from Nick.
It's perfect. That's the fun of listen, the day-to-day grind is hard. You guys know, you specifically know, Perrault. Like trying to find winners every day is really tough. And sometimes you could be on the absolute dead nuts right side and lose. Like what I'm doing with this stuff is not gambling. It's in a gambling space, but I'm basically what the book does is you put out all these future prices and you hold 20%. It doesn't matter who wins. If certain teams win, we're going to hold 50%. But if the right teams win, if whatever, and you can't lose unless you're gambling. And the way I learned this business was we don't gamble. We just earn. So this is my way of doing it without getting involved in the day today. Now, and I can't say that I don't get involved because I'm sitting there. I sat with you the other night while we ate pizza and watched the baseball game. I was betting each side. I was betting one side. I was betting the total. I was betting the total. I was betting the total. Like last night, I got caught betting the under. When that run was scored in the first inning, went from up to 8.5. And I'm like, I liked it before. I really like under 8.5. And it was plus money. So I started betting under 8.5. Then I bet under 7.5. And I was waiting and I was waiting and I was waiting. I said, if this thing gets to 5.5, I am definitely betting it over. I'm just trying to, earn a little bit of money. Guy like Nick got a future. He's living this ride. You don't have to be a fan of the team. This is going to be the lowest rated World Series and all this other stuff. I'm looking to get tickets. I want to go. I want to go.
It's going to be the lowest rated World Series. There's no debate. No one's watching this World Series.
That's fine.
Yes.
But you can get involved in it when you do this, and you don't have to risk a lot of money. Another friend of the show, in Iowa, our guy, he's got a future on Texas to win it all.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been texting me like, what do I do? And I put it to him like this. He's got $25 to win. It's at 50 to 1.
Nice.
So he's going to win $1,250.
It's great.
They were down 3-2 to Houston. He said, what do I do? He said, I'm just going to enjoy the ride. I said, you don't have to do nothing. That's
right.
fine.
You don't want to, right?
They
or
won
you can hedge
game
off
6.
of it. Yeah.
I said, now you're live. What do you want to bet Houston now, or do you want to bet? He's like, no, I'm not doing nothing. I think Texas is going to win. I said, perfect. He's going to lose 25,
or
he's live to the World Series. Yeah. So now he's live to the World Series.
That's gambling if you want. But I mean, one of the fun things I've learned from doing this show and just talking to you, and Michigan, I have a ticket on Michigan at plus 960 to win the national championship. Like, I'm going to wait until Michigan plays Penn State. And then if they win that game, look at the Ohio State game and look at the number and who is favored, what's the money line price off of that. And I may bet, I have one unit to win basically 10. So now it's okay. How do I'll give a unit there. I'll give a unit here. You just working off of that first ticket, I think is one of the more, that's my evolution as a gambler. That's been one of the biggest advantages, or at least growth processes for me, of recognizing, of putting a flag down and not putting the flag down saying this team's going to win. Yeah, you can ride the roller coaster, but I'm not doing it to ride the roller coaster. I have a Ravens ticket to win the Super Bowl for that very reason. I'm not doing it because I think the Ravens are going to win it all. They might. I just get in the playoffs, get to the AFC divisional round. I'll start betting off of it once we get to the divisional round, to start making, hedging off of it. Same thing we did in the first round with the Brewers that people still can't figure out. But it's the idea of putting a flag down and working off of that ticket, knowing you have profit coming back. So it's not gambling. So it's risk management.
Right. No, I told our friend, he's going to collect $1,250 plus his 25. He'll collect $1,275, right? Or he'll collect nothing. And I said, all right, I know you're married, you got a kid. Put $250 at plus 150 on, or put 200. Just put 200. That's fine.
Yeah.
Put 200 at plus 150 on Arizona to win a World Series right now. So 200 at plus 150 wins you 300. So now, if Texas wins, you win 1,000. If Arizona wins, you win 300.
Which is pretty good.
I said 300 is a car payment. And I don't know what kind of car you drive.
Right,
maybe it's half a car payment, but that's found money. And to win 1,200 or to win 1,000 or 300 and get money when their initial risk was $25, I don't know. That's earning. That's just making money. And you still got to gamble. I mean, because you could just take the middle road, make 600 either way, and be done. And now you can add to that. You can bet this game. You can bet that game. You can bet them when they're down. Take pluses all over. Every ticket I have pretty much is a plus. That's the other thing. There's no minuses on anything.
Yeah, you're paying juice. Right. Everything is
so it's always worth more than I spent. So whether the tickets for 25, 50, 100, 200, whatever it is, it's a bigger payout. So you can work backwards.
Would you ever
laying juice? It's very hard.
Would you ever consider selling one of your tickets on the secondary market?
Zero chance. I would not. That market's not for me.
Okay.
I mean, what's somebody going to offer me that ticket? At 400 to 1. The ticket says Arizona to beat Texas, 400 to 1.
Because you have
Texas
both sides.
to beat Arizona, 375.
You bet both sides. I'm saying you could sell one of the sides. If you thought the Rangers were going to win, you could sell the Arizona ticket for a guaranteed profit.
I would just go bet the other side.
Right. Yeah. It's
fine. Because that again, not that the guys at WagerWire, the guys at Prop Swap, I mean, they're friends of ours. I know what they're doing. There's a market for that, but I would go beg, borrow, steal, whatever I had to do to get the money to hedge. Some people don't have the money to hedge. They don't even want the sweat anymore. I went to the doctor today and the woman was like, how was your night last night? Did you have any stress? And I'm like, oh, I had to watch this game 7.
I gamble.
I had this thing. It was only a difference of 5, 6, 7,000. It was no big deal. She didn't want to hear it, but some people don't want that. Here, sell the ticket, and that's okay too. Like everybody's different. That's fine.
When you sell it, how you sell it, where you sell it, all those things. So okay, good stuff with that. Frozen Frenzy last night. I know we were watching baseball, but I thought it was a massive success. I thought I saw so many people talking about hockey, watching hockey, betting hockey. Did you tune into any of it? See any games last night or just baseball?
I was watching the whole thing. We were I went and watched the Bruins and the Blackhawks was on. I went and met the kids. It was so funny because they don't have a clue what's going on, right?
Right.
And I get the text while I'm on Sports Grid. We're going to Buffalo Wild Wings for dinner. Do you want to join us? I'm like, can I come after the baseball game? And they're like, well, no, we're going to watch the end of the baseball game there. And, the rally starts and I'm like, I don't know if I should go because I know I'm rooting for Arizona secretly and they're all rooting for Philadelphia. And I'm like, this is going to be. I said, I'll be there in the 8th. And they said, well, why don't you come now so you can watch the 8th with us? And I'm like, I'd rather just watch the 8th by myself. So I text them. I'm like, all right, I'm on the way. And it's 2-for-1 wings night. There's a line out the door. It's crazy. I didn't think it would be busy. And I sit down and they got hockey on every screen. Every screen.
This town is something. It really is. Cool.
Every screen. They're getting ready for the Knights game.
This town's cool. Yeah, it's really.
And
neat.
I was like, this is awesome. And there's that one TV right over my head had the World Series on without sound. And then Kelsey asked them to put another TV that she could see. Right. She was facing the other way on a World Series. So we had the hockey on. It was fun. It was great.
Well, let's start with Vegas. They improved to 7-0 last night. It's the best start ever for a defending champion. Logan Thompson was really good late. Philadelphia had a 2-1 lead with 12 minutes to play. I got into it with some people on Twitter over this because I think the algorithms are wrong when it comes to 1-goal games. Vegas was 6-0 defending champ. The algorithm takes that into zero account. They're at home, zero account. It was plus 300 on Vegas on the money line. I'm working out. It's whatever time it was, 11 o'clock here, 10:30 here, whatever it was. I'm doing my second workout. I'm just like, that number, I looked at it, the number's wrong. So I bet it. Plus 300 is a 25% implied probability of happening. Not that I'm a math guy, but to me, 1 in 4 is not what's going to happen when Vegas is down by 1 goal at home. Tie the game, it goes to overtime.
But we talked about that before. It's not just Vegas. It's 1 in 4 hockey games with that amount of time left.
Yep.
That the favorite is going to come back and win. It's 1 in 4.
It's weird to me that it doesn't take into account who it is and where it is and how the game flow is going.
Zero.
It's just throwing it up there. And I think the algorithm is you can take advantage of it. I think it's wrong. So I bet 3-1 hit that with Vegas and people. And I tweeted about it afterwards and people were just like, the algorithm is right. I'm like, okay, if you say so. I disagree with that. I'm not a math guy. I've never made a model. I'm not this, but I'm looking at this going, you're telling me it's 25% likelihood? No. It's way more likely that they're going to tie the game and the Knights are going to send the game into overtime, either win it in overtime or win it in a shootout. Or like they did, they won it in regulation. they won the thing with 30 seconds left. Right. They scored the game-winning goal, and they beat the Flyers 3-2 last night. Vegas unders are an absolute wagon
Yep.
I mean, they don't give up more than 2 goals. It's on Chicago. Chicago doesn't give up more than 2 goals either, 2 or 3. They lost 3-0 to the Bruins last night. Chicago Friday night against Vegas here, under. Bet it now, under.
I'm so impressed just in general with the lack of a hangover, the lack of they are playing. I don't want to say they're playing playoff hockey every night, but damn, it looks like it. Like it's the regular season. They are focused. They're deep. I mean, it's a good hockey team. It just
really
happens to be, our city and stuff. They play the same game. They play the same shifts. It's show up, skate, hit, limit chances. Goalie plays good. We're down. We'll come back in the third. It's confidence. I'm telling you, man, they're good.
They're really good. Their main competition very well might be Colorado, who won their 15th straight road game last night, dating back to last season over the Islanders. 6-0 for Colorado on the season. You want to talk about the main competition? You watch the Avs, and it's like, okay, go find the first Avalanche Knights game and circle that and clear off the schedule, because if you're a hockey fan, that's going to be a war.
It's next week.
I know.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's next week.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to watch it, because that's the only team I've seen. The Bruins are going to be good, but there's other teams in the East as well. But in the West, I think it's Vegas and Colorado and everybody else right now, at least. Kings might be.
Yeah, the Kings are going to be good, right?
Kings might be in there, but right now, I mean, Georgiev they play what's going to be so fun about Colorado in Vegas. Just bet the under. We could see a 5 in that game. That's possible. You may see books put up 5s for that. Georgiev and Hill, they both play Vegas and Colorado both play very similar styles. They're tight defensively and they're explosive on offense. Power plays are dangerous. I would give the Avs the edge there, but the PK for Vegas is phenomenal. I can't wait. It's going to be an unbelievable matchup.
Dallas is still going to be a formidable
They are,
opponent.
but my God, what is going on with their offense? Like, I've watched 3 games from Dallas this season. I'm going just like, okay, Ottinger, by the way, he's 24. I was reminded that last night during the broadcast. I was like, my gosh, he's young.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. But
Stud.
I mean, I bet the first period under last night for the Penguins and them that hit. And I don't know. I mean, their offense just doesn't pop off when I'm watching it on TV.
It never does.
Their offense could be an issue. Robertson, they've got talent. They've got, Robertson, and they've got the former Bruin kid. I always forget, Sagan. And I don't know. I'm not really afraid of Dallas. I watch them.
Nobody is until they play them.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
It.
I mean, and then what the hell is going on in Minnesota? I mean, this is crazy. They're 6-0 to the gift of the year. The Santa hit yesterday. Thank you, Madison. That's a goal in the first 5 minutes, which also hits the goal in the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
Edmonton goes 5-1 to the gift as well this year, and 5-1 to the over in the first period. And they get run off the ice. They give up 7 goals to the Wild. 7-4.
Edmonton. Yeah, this is him getting hurt is not helping. They
McDavid
don't stop pucks. This is it'd be interesting to see how they bounce back. I don't know.
Bounce back. They'll
be fine when December comes, but they'll be so many points behind. But this happened last year. They went after Draisaitl in a press conference, and he told everybody basically to, for lack of a better term, buzzer off, and he let them know. And then they put those two together, and it clicked, and they won a lot of games in January, February, March to get back to where they were. The problem is goaltending. I mean, they just don't have a goalie. So I don't know. And Minnesota's a perplexing. This is, completely just, I don't know what they are. They don't know what they are. These goals, quick, fast, whatever. This has to settle. Like that's just keep betting it. Like Otto says, just keep betting it.
I agree. One game tonight, Washington at New Jersey, -250 50 on this.
Something is wrong. I mean, this might be the end for Washington.
Right.
Yeah, they're I don't know, done. I don't know what the word is, but like
They don't care.
no, I mean they just not equipped. They looked so slow yesterday. I said it to Cam on a show before he signed off, and we were laughing about it. But it was like when we're in adult league and we're playing in the 30 and over or 40 and over division, and then we go play in an open tournament with the kids, and everybody's under 25, and they're skating circles around us, and we're got our hands on our knees in between whistles, and we're like I used to hook kids and say, please don't make me look bad. Like when it got
Right.
when I got to be in my low 40s, and I'm just I could still skate, but I couldn't skate like that for as long as those kids could skate. I used to be able to do that. It just wasn't in the shape they were. So Toronto made Washington look like an adult league beer league team yesterday. And I kept going, we're betting against Washington until further notice.
And now they're on a back-to-back on top of that.
Back-to-back against a young, fast team like New Jersey.
The young, fast team. I mean,
No
that
shot.
is the young, fast team. I agree. No shot. You can put them, Jersey. I did not see inside of regulation, but I do like that bet. If you can get that around 140, somewhere 130, 140 potentially for inside of regulation, I do like that. Washington 1-3-1 to start the year. They've lost 3 straight games. They've been outscored by 12 goals in 5 games. That is not a good start to the year for the Washington Capitals. Happening starting tonight here. The only NHL game tonight. All right, to the NBA we go. Denver. My goodness gracious. At home. Whoo, baby. You're not beating Denver very often at home. They are really good at home.
Yeah, what did we say yesterday? I think they lost 6 games or 4 games total
Games
in the
in
regular
totality
season?
the whole year.
Yeah.
The whole year, including the playoffs last year. They lost 8 games.
That's going to continue.
Similar, single digit losses at home. They're really talented. They're really good. I mean, Jokic had a triple-double and was fooling around. Like it was just the game is coming very easily to him right now, and they're light. His comments after the game were so interesting about the fact that he was shocked at how just a simple game of basketball could impact so many people's lives. I think he's starting to understand his role as a superstar, a global superstar, as to what this team potentially could do. I mean, Michael Malone is joking around. They're chanting, who is your daddy at the Lakers in LeBron. That's a formidable team. Until further notice, the Denver Nuggets are the best team in basketball. Even as a Celtics fan, I'm saying that until it's proven otherwise.
Okay.
Denver's the best team in basketball, and we'll see what Milwaukee and Boston have to say about it. But right now, until further notice, I'm going with the Nuggets. Warriors' third quarter is back. They outscored the Suns 40-19 coming out of the break last night.
Wow.
And then they lost.
Are they the adult league team at the gym?
It looks
like they're going to have old man strength, and they're going to have one of those nights and outshoot somebody and stuff. But like,
the guy takes his shirt off, the sweaty guy who's hairy and wants to body you up all the time.
Could go to the wax guy like you would be. I used to hate that. There was nothing worse than playing shirts and skins. The kids don't even know what we're talking about. We would show up at the park, kids.
We do it.
And one bunch of guys would say, all right, we're keeping our shirts on. You guys will take your shirts off. That way we'll be able to tell who's on what team. We did this.
Oh, yeah.
Willingly.
Why? That doesn't happen anymore? Shirts and skins doesn't happen anymore? Really?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was always, I used to play when I was playing AAU basketball, when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, basically 16, I would go play pickup games at the Y, because the older I got, the more that I could kick the shit out of old guys. And I loved it. It was so much fun just to school.
Right.
I mean, they were always like, what the hell? Because
Did you chirp too?
Oh, hell yeah. I chirped, but then I was not physically strong. So you'd get the dude who wants to body up the point guard, and he would turn me. He would stick his ass right into my stomach and bang.
Love doing that.
And
love doing it. I love playing that defense.
It'd smack you in the stomach. You'd be like, okay. And then he would turn, and my head would get into his armpit because he was taller and bigger than me. And they would just physically push me out of the way. And I used to be like, you disgusting human being. And I used to get so angry. So I'd stick a 3 in his face and then talk about it. And then, Oh, I love that. That was fun. I ruled the Y League. I was a formidable opponent in the Y pickup games when I was 13, 14, and 15. That's how I was good at basketball. When you put me into a structure, the reason why I struggled so much in high school was because our high school ran a very strict, like Princeton structured offense.
Oh God.
And because we were just white kids from Andover, Mass, playing against Lawrence and Lowell and the athletes that they had.
Yeah,
so the way that they counteracted was like, we screened like 4 times before a shot could go up.
Right.
Like it was constantly pass and screen, and that's not how I played. I was up and down. I wanted to run and I wanted to pass, and because I could shoot, but I was a much better athlete getting to the rim. And I hated having to be structured, and it pissed me off more than anything in the world. So playing pickup games at the Y, that was my jam. I was where I was. I was in my element.
We played at the boys club. We played at the park. There was a park up by the house called Wilson Park. I mean, it was Wilson Park in Greentree was a place where people met. There was a summer league that like D1 guys that played at Pitt, Robert Morris, they would come and play.
Yep.
We got in that league one year. We would get thumped by 40. I kept telling them, like, why did we sign up for this league?
Well,
I realized dunking on us.
Yeah.
Like I cut a guy, he went up to dunk, and I was just trying to catch him. I didn't mean to cut him.
Right.
But I cut him, and he landed on his like one leg. I thought he was going to kill me.
Yep.
He goes, "What the are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm just trying to catch you. I didn't mean to." He's like, "You cut my legs." I'm like, I really didn't mean to. I won't do it again. I promise. Because it was going to be a brawl. Because I almost, he could have went flat on his back on the cement. It would have been all over.
Bad. Oh yeah. We played. Did you ever play on the outdoor courts that had the cement that was all the way over, and then the grass would start afterwards? I have a scar on my knee because I played in one of those summer leagues where I realized by playing in the summer league, I realized I was not that good. I thought I was like, at 15, I thought I was pretty good.
Humbling.
Oh my God. I remember going like, I'm a 6-foot white guy. I'm not going to be able to do anything against these kids. I'm not big enough, strong enough, fast enough, but it had rained a couple of hours before we played.
No.
And I landed I went up for a layup, and I landed with my front foot. My left foot was on the grass, and it slipped out. And my knee went right on the corner where the cement was. And you could see like right into like my ACL, like it ripped I was bleeding everywhere. It was so bad. I was in a walking cast for 2 months afterwards. It was such a nasty scar. It was like that deep, that length of ripped over my knee. To this day, I still have that scar whenever and people look at what happened to your knee? Yeah. Playing in a high level pickup game and getting my ass kicked by guys who were way better than me.
I was told it was a good idea. We'll stay in shape because I was playing hockey in college and I had something to do in the summer, that summer.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll play basketball again. And I had played basketball in high school up through
hockey guys
year.
Playing basketball. We loved you guys. You guys were marks. We loved playing against hockey guys.
I could play.
You won differently because how you skate, the muscles you developed are different than basketball muscles.
Yeah.
So you have the hip flexibility you have in basketball versus hockey are two very different things. So you guys were always very difficult laterally. Hockey guys had a tough time going laterally. So we loved to just cross you guys over, and you had a tough time guarding us.
I could play basketball. I played for 8 years, but I stopped playing sophomore year was the last year because I couldn't get no shots off no more. And everybody got taller.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm done with this. But we played that summer with grown men, like real basketball players. And that was like, I ain't never doing this again. Just I would tell them after every game, I'm like, I ain't coming back next week. And they're like, you have to. We only got 7 guys. I'm like, I'm mad that I gave you the money for this league.
Right.
We could go and lose by 40 and, physically get annihilated. I think I scored like 12 points the whole summer. It was just terrible. Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah, I remember the time I got blocked when a guy blocked my shot up against the backboard, and I went, okay, yep, I'm done.
Yeah.
Came from behind.
I ain't never doing that again.
He pinned the ball. I was on a breakaway to lay it up, and he freaking pinned the ball up against us. Like, Yep, I'm in trouble.
How'd
These
you
guys
do
are
that?
way better than I am.
Right.
These guys are way better than I'll ever be.
Oh,
I was like, yep. Okay, that's yep, I hit my ceiling. Okay, now we are. Celtics 3.5-point favorites tonight against the Knicks. Boston actually went 1-2 last year against the Knicks here. Opening night for Boston. They're gonna kill them.
Boston's gonna kill him.
It's a 7 to 8 point route.
Oh, okay.
Most of the game won't be competitive. Boston is going to be a make or miss team this year, but they've got sharpshooters all over the place. The Knicks generally don't guard. They tend to pack it in. Typical defense with Thibodeau. They're going to play more pack it in, protect the lane. Boston's going to bomb. They hit threes. This game could get away from the Knicks pretty fast.
Both games went under yesterday.
Yep.
I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. Guys in the chat, you're here. You're basketball guys, whether you are or not, laying Boston -3.5 or taking Knicks +3.5.
I'm laying. Kings are at the Jazz.
Look at
here.
this bad boy. This is a Sacramento Kings
Beautiful
old school logo. My God.
What do you make of the Kings this year? Are we lighting the beam, or are we going back to where the Kings were previously? They're no longer the little engine that could.
What's their season win total? I didn't even look.
Ooh, I have not even looked either. I did not bet any NBA futures. I've decided to do it all in season.
Way better.
Yep. I'm gonna wait.
I mean, unless you really think something's off, like it's way better.
I went 1-3 last year betting preseason, so I want to watch a little bit because I was dead wrong. I like the Timberwolves over last year. It was way wrong. It was dead wrong. There's certain teams I like that I want to watch and see what they're going to look like.
Yeah. Wow, we got a mix here. Boston, Knicks money line, laying it. Boston, laying it. Boston, Knicks under for Gorov.
Maybe.
Wow. All right.
Potentially.
Total's high, no? In this game.
230. I mean, Jazz at home last year, they ran a lot. We're up tempo. We know the Kings want to go up tempo. They're not playing any defense.
Holy crap. It's not even the highest total. Atlanta, Charlotte is 236.5.
Yeah.
That game's probably going over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. First thought would be to take Sacramento. It's basically a pick 'em in Utah.
Right.
I know nothing about Utah, what they brought back. I have no idea.
I think, again, this is a wait and watch for me when it comes to what the Jazz are going to look like. It's the same thing with the Dallas Mavericks. It's a wait and watch. I want to see what they look like. I want to see how, it's a tough division. You have Denver, Minnesota, Portland, Oklahoma City, and Utah. That's a really tough division. What do they look like? What does Utah do this year? I like their roster. I think they've got some depth, but we need Jordan Clarkson to keep going, John Collins to keep performing the way he's performed. I like to see what he's going to look like, going forward for him. So, I think this is Utah's team to watch. I wouldn't bet this personally. I would watch this game and just take it for learning experiences. All right. It's Wednesday. On Wednesday, we tend to look at college football. Let's roll through the top 10 here. Some of these games.
Get some of these games out of the way.
I still call this the greatest outdoor cocktail party. They don't like that name anymore. They don't think you should do that, but I like it. Georgia's laying 14.5 points though against Florida. Neutral field. No Brock Bowers.
First game without him, right?
Yep. Off the bye.
Let's see.
We're going to learn a lot about Georgia in this game, I think.
Right.
They house Florida. Okay, they'll be fine. They have a tough time with it.
Yeah, I think bad guys will be looking to take the dog, but
agreed.
We'll see. It totals 47.
It's an in-game. I wouldn't bet this pre. I wait and see. I want to see what Georgia looks like. If they can't move the football, the number will come down, obviously, but I think you could probably still get like 10 in-game. And this could be a one-score difference if they struggle.
I'll do the college football work, boys. I'll have a better opinion on this stuff tomorrow and Friday. I have been immersed in the baseball, so pardon my not disinterest. I just haven't done the work yet.
Right.
For this. I
Ohio
got
State's
email and I was
number.
like, uh-oh.
Ohio State's laying the same number. 14
I feel better about laying it with them.
At Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not going to score.
Yeah,
Wisconsin team total under.
Part of the handicap that you've learned that I've did in the risk room for a long time was I don't care how many points Ohio State's scoring. I need to know how many points the dog is scoring against this
Defense.
team, because it ain't much. I think I could put the peak at 17.
Whoa, that's high.
That's what I'm saying.
That's high to me. 17
That's not
points.
even close to
2
what it
touchdowns.
probably should be.
I don't
Yeah.
think Wisconsin's not scoring 2 touchdowns. Penn State didn't score 2 touchdowns.
Correct. Well, okay.
Wisconsin's not scoring 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the game's in Wisconsin.
So
You ever been to a game there?
I have not. I've heard it's amazing.
The jump around and all that other
I've
stuff.
heard,
Those people
heard it's
love
very
it.
fun.
So let's see. Ohio State 14.5, totals 45.5 right now. So that's 28-17 with an 11-point spread. So that's 31-14.
14 to 14.5-point spread.
31-14 covers. 28-17 does not. 31-14. This is 17-point spread. Okay. Ohio State. I'm trying to figure out how many points. I mean, they're not going to cover enough. They're not going to score enough. They have to have the best defensive performance of their season.
Right. Florida State's laying 20.5 on the road. A lot of respect for the Seminoles here. Wake Forest is not that good, I'll say, but
the door's open for them though now, right? I mean,
Wide
North
open.
Carolina lost.
Wide
It's
open.
go time.
But they'll play
Win, style points. Let's go.
If you win out, Florida State's in, but 20.5 is 20.5. Washington is laying 26.5 at Stanford. The total is 60 in this game. We just saw Stanford. I mean, we've seen them play. I don't know.
This seems high, no?
Yes. I'm a little surprised at how heavy this is, to be quite honest. This seems, extra, as the kids would say. FS1 it's a 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time kick. Stanford just lost 42-7 to UCLA. That's one of the reasons why this number is what it is. 15-7 to win for Washington. They were fortunate to do that at home. This is now on the road.
Does Washington put up the same number that UCLA did?
Probably more. Probably
UCLA's defense is good, though. Game's going over. I think this game's going over.
Don't hate it.
Yeah, I think this game's going over. Initial thought.
Washington needs to kill Stanford, though. You got to
get high.
It does seem high. I would agree. Oklahoma's laying 10 at Kansas. They're 6-1 ATS. They did not cover last week against Central Florida, however, though. This is the big noon kickoff game.
Is Kansas, are they going to provide resistance?
Defensively, no.
This is just going to be a score fest.
This is
more
over.
than them.
Yeah, this is an old school Big 12 game.
65.
Yeah.
Speed limit game.
This is just go, 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 go.
Oh yeah.
I can't say.
I don't know what to do with that game. Oh, you froze. Snap your fingers. Come back. Come on. We're almost done.
There we go.
Back.
I think Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma will be able to cover that number, but I think the over is probably a better play. On that. So Texas is playing without Quinn Ewers against BYU. Number was 21. Now it's 17.
So who's playing quarterback? Peyton's kid? No,
this kid, Malik Murphy.
Or whatever.
He's a freshman quarterback that's going to play here. They're not going to take the redshirt year off of Arch Manning.
Oh, okay.
So they're playing the other freshman, Malik Murphy. He's a 6'5", 240-pound big kid. He's a big kid.
Thrower?
Both, but he's a dual threat quarterback. Big step up though. He played he's played 3 times so far this year against Houston, Baylor, and Rice.
My natural inclination is to take dog.
Yes.
Right. I just, without knowing, nothing. It's Wednesday. We'll have time to see more, decide all that other stuff. But that's coming down.
It is.
I think going up.
No, it's coming down for that reason. It's coming down on that. One of the games of the weekend is Oregon at Utah.
Yeah, this
Number 8,
has to
the
check. Ducks
are laying 6.5. The total is 48 in this one. It was 4.5. Now it's 6.5.
Yeah.
So the first move came on the Ducks, which I'm a little surprised about.
Why? It's against
Utah's-
Utah every week. They go against Utah every single week. The first
Why?
number, boom, they always go against them.
Because of their offense?
No,
Their
I don't know.
defense is
Before it was the
tremendous.
question with the quarterback, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Now we know
No, he's not playing. He's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cam Rising's not playing
Yeah.
the rest of the year.
Right. So now it's one of those things. Let me see here. Where's the game? What time is the game?
It is 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Oregon.
It's a 12:30.
Okay.
3:30 Eastern. It's the Fox game. It's the second game after they have the big noon kickoff.
So Oregon
Eastern.
and under. I don't know. I like under. Yeah. So I'm leaning dog.
Every
right
game
now.
Utah's under.
I know.
Utah's is under.
Just don't have to think hard and just and go with that. Ask the chat. Oregon, let's call it -6.5. Oregon -6.5. Utah +6.5. What are you guys thinking right now on Wednesday? Nothing strong either way. I'm just curious which way we get.
You give me 7, I'll take Utah.
You might get 7.
I get 7. I might take
Not
Utah.
even unreasonable for you to ask that.
+7 for Utah at home dog.
Oh, Crunchy's back in the chat. Good to see you, Crunch.
It's going to be a
BYU
war.
stinks on the road. He's right.
They do.
Bet against Utah at home to your own peril. You're right about
Right?
that too.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a war. This is going to be a war. I can't wait to watch that game. So your coach, James Franklin, is known for running the score up. Off of a loss with Indiana coming to town. Line's 33. Larry Bird it.
The total is 46. The total is 46. The line is 33. The total is 46. This might be an all-timer for me. I mean, I've seen 47 and 51.
Right.
But that's higher number. This is 33, 32 and a half. A lot of places have there's a big difference between that and 46. Can I just bet whether Indiana's going to score or not?
Right.
Rather bet that.
I mean, it's going to be wild to see because we know that Franklin wants to give the alumni something. Go to Ohio State.
I don't know what he wants to give them. I think he needs to win, and they need to work some things out
offensively.
Let's throw the ball a little bit. Let's we have some margin for error today. Drew, we're going to run 4 wides, and we're going to go run and shoot and mess everybody up. That would be fun, right? That would get everybody talking. Now, what are you going to talk about? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I would expect Penn State
today with him and
42-3 final.
It stays under 46.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we're split right down the middle in the chat. Utah, Utes, Ducks, Utah money line, Quack, Ducks. Wow, buy Oregon down to 3.5. That's very expensive, Zachariah.
3 points.
You want to do that? Daniel G said, Quack money line.
Oh, yeah. It's expensive, though. I mean, money line, okay, but it's expensive. They may cover, but they may win, but they might cover. I think just take the dog there. 2 more before we let go of Sports Grid. Louisville and Duke. There's only a couple games involving ranked teams against each other.
Flip a coin. I have
Here's the problem. Leonard, you can't touch this game until you find out about Riley Leonard.
I don't have a clue.
He might be in. He might not. I mean, they've said it publicly. Duke has said he's day-to-day. It'll be depending on game time decision. He couldn't play in the second half against Florida State, and the whole thing unraveled. They could have beaten Florida State if Leonard could play. He couldn't play. Got re-injured with a high ankle sprain. When he was in there, they were beating Florida State. He plays, take Duke. He doesn't, and this number at 4 tells me that the books don't know, and they're waiting. And the pros don't know either. Everyone's waiting to see what the call is going to be for that. So we'll keep an eye on Duke and Louisville. And then finally, UNLV is 6-0 ATS, 6-1 ATS, 6-1 straight up. At Fresno, they're catching 7.5 points. Numbers coming down. We going UNLV on the road? Now, their level of competition, not exactly a difficult road to get to 6-1. But 6-1.
6-1 is 6-1.
This is
I don't know. This is 7:30 our time game. This is the 10:30 game East. This will be fun. Like I'm going to actually watch this game Saturday night. Well, I'll be watching the World Series too, but like that.
Yeah, but it'll be on.
Over.
You keep an eye on it.
Right. This will
Second half.
This might be a multiple in-game play as well. I don't know. First thought is dog, but
agreed.
It
was 8 yesterday. It's 7.5 now.
First thought is dog.
Coming down.
Dog. Yeah.
On the road, UNLV having a chance to make some noise in the Mountain West Conference. They're already bowl eligible. Now they have a chance to go and make some noise against Fresno State. We'll see what ends up happening in that one. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch in that. For you guys who are live on YouTube and Twitter, don't move. If you're on Sports Grid or if you're listening on Sirius XM, thank you. We'll be back tomorrow for a full Thursday. A lot of football to get into coming up tomorrow on the program at Boston versus the Book. To go follow us on social media, on Twitter and whatnot. For you guys who are live, don't move. You're getting bonus time. All right, we can go right into it here, into Bet It or Book It. To book a time, Boston Celtics 3.5 points on the road to the Knicks on opening night. Boston shoots threes. Boston wins. Boston covers.
I will appease you. I will say bet it.
Like it. Same thought, same handicap. Celtics team total over 113.5. They scored 133 points in November against the Knicks last season, and that was without Kristaps and that was without Drew Holiday.
We're going to go under this number.
Oh, really?
A leaning game under. I just looked at the number.
Okay.
I'm leaning game under, so we'll go Celtics team.
I think the game under, but I think it's because of the fact that the Knicks don't score.
Oh, well. I mean, that's trying to put that pinhole in it.
But 113, 115, 101 is under and a cover for the Celtics.
Right.
So they covered the 3.5.
I think it comes just under, like 108, 110, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They win by double digits and whatnot. And then finally, our guy Raheem Palmer put me on this, and I think he's right. Timberwolves tonight, laying 1 against Toronto. I went and looked at it. I handicapped myself. I like the Timberwolves. Toronto was a mess. New head coach, everything else going on in Toronto with a lot of questions as to, are they going to tank? Are they going to trade a bunch of pieces? They got talent, but not a lot that is gelling at the moment. T-Wolves, basically money line, but laying 1. Better to book it.
Book it. Give me a home team.
Home team. Okay. Super chat questioned. Only one of them from Big Business. Dave, serious question.
Yes.
Have you ever hit a big ticket where you used to work? And how did it feel to go collect that one?
You can't bet where you work.
I think he means after you left, but CG's gone, so you couldn't do it. He means after you've left to go back and take them after you've left.
Oh, there'd be nothing better. Oh, Big Business. What a great question. I don't know what music I would play walking in. I don't know. That would be awesome. We're on bonus time. That'd be fucking awesome. In fact, I might bring a couple people with me. Give me my music and just walk in and say, hey, how you doing? Here, cash this ticket. Oh, wait. I'll be back tomorrow. I got another one. I got to make sure we stay within the right number. Oh, it would be tremendous. Oh my God. Listen, this one's going to be fun when we do it. It's going to this one is going to be all said and done. I've never had amount of money involved in my life. What I'm going to have, I told Jess at dinner yesterday. She's like, "What? What the fuck have you been doing?"
Now you know.
And I'm like, well, I try to tell you, but she's like, I don't want to know. She's like, is that why you've been going every night? And I'm like, every day. Yeah. When you're at work, a lot of times that's when I go. I'll go at lunch. Yesterday, that would be fun. I would love nothing more than to go back to the place I worked to collect.
Hey, Crunchy is asking first half team total over for the Celtics. Yes. I love that bet. I want to watch and to see if that bet is consistent like it was last year.
Oh, that was money last year.
That was awesome. I hit that so often last year. And if it was ever set under 61 points, bam, Boston went over consistently. That was the number I always watched for. What was the first half team total for the Celtics in the first half?
It started earlier
55.
in the season at 60.5.
No, lower than that. It was 55, 56. And then it went up to 61, 62, 63 when it kept on coming through. And the books
60 was the number. I remember we had to get over 60.
Yep. And once you got to 61, it was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. If it was 60 or 60.5, you bet over. 61, it would land on 61 or 62 a ton. That was the number that they would collect. So because Porzingis is on the roster and Hollis on the roster now, I got to see the rotation a bit more in the first half to see what Mazzulla does, because my gut tells me he's running a short bench in the first half. And if that happens, that's beautiful, because we'll get the maximum effort, the maximum shot attempts, and the best 6 players in the NBA. Boston may have the best 6 players in the NBA from a roster perspective. After that, it's a little bit debatable. Denver's deeper. Denver has more, but top 6, Boston probably has the best top 6 in the NBA. So first half totals, yes, but not tonight for me, at least. I want to wait and watch a couple of games. If they play the way they played last year.
The team total Celtics first half is 58.
So I've been over. Yeah, that would have been over on that. Yes, I'd been over on that. It's on the road. It was at home. It was an auto fire, but on the road, it's, opener though. So I think they want to put out a statement. I think Boston wants to get out there and send a message and, announce their presence this year in game 1 in particular, because it's bing bong, those people.
Celtics Knicks, is that actually a rivalry?
Oh, we fucking hate them. It's New York. We always,
everybody hates Boston though.
It's fine. We're good. They're not. So, it's easy. It's you hate us because we win. You hate yourselves because you suck. So
everybody hates Boston for different reasons, not just because they win.
When was the last time the Knicks or anybody in
New York, everybody hates New York. You want to call them an enemy, it's them.
Yeah. New York sports have been good. When again? Oh, right. Okay. When was the last time? It's been a long while.
It's been a while.
We've gone through it. Baseball, no. Basketball, no. Football, no. What? WNBA? Congratulations. You can have the Liberty. Congratulations. Oh, by the way, the Vegas Aces beat you. Sorry. You lost that too.
Oh, God.
You lost that too. Favorite thing about today is what?
Crunchy said, sorry, boys. I haven't been around. I've had a rough few days. I got the crud. My punishment for spending the weekend with my kids. Go figure. Sometimes they're germ infestations, and you just get it. And then they bounce back in like a day. And I'm still taking this stuff. But I got the right prescription hopefully yesterday, and hopefully this thing will be knocked out. I was told the cycle is 3 to 4 days. Bam. Get rid of all this shit in my head.
Z-Pack.
I got that, whatever that is. Yes,
Z-Pack. Yep.
Give me this stuff.
I keep one in the house so I don't have to go to the doctors.
Yep.
Because I know what they're going to give me. If I have a really bad cold, I still have it, but obviously COVID changes things a little bit, but you make sure you're COVID negative. But if you're COVID negative and you have the crud, Z-Pack, bang, kills any bugs living in your body. That's obviously viruses. It doesn't work on viruses, but anything else, Z-Pack will kill it.
That's the debate in the house with the pharmacist. Is
it a virus? She's right. I mean, look, she's not wrong.
Don't ever.
She's right. If it's a virus, you can't do anything about it. Z-Pack, all Z-Pack.
She is right. Can never be uttered again on the show.
Against a virus, a Z-Pack.
Don't ever take sides against the family again.
All right,
like you just did. Because if she's watching, or her friends are watching, or the women in the office are watching, you know what's going to happen. They're going to say, "Hey, Perrault said you were right to your husband," and then I got to listen to that shit.
Well,
don't do that, please.
All a Z-Pack will do to a virus is make you get sicker because it actually hurts your immune system. So
what'd you do? Go to pharmacist school while you were doing all the broadcasting?
My mom's a nurse. My mom's a nurse. I grew up with this stuff. So. Anyways, favorite thing about today is what?
We got a World Series.
Your World Series. You got the dream.
The lowest rated World Series. I'll never forget it the rest of my life.
Because it's the best one for you.
I'm making calls. I'm like, we got people in Arizona. Are you coming? This and that. I'm like, everybody relax. Today, today I'm fucking chilling. Like
Okay.
I'm not. I don't even know if I'm going to open my app today. I really don't. Like we'll do in-game live,
Right.
and you came on yesterday, killed it. By the way, guys, if you like it, just keep tweeting about it and telling the people at Sports Grid. I don't know if they're watching or not. I don't know if they care or not, but it means a lot to us. You guys keep coming in here every single day. We get more and more people following the show, more and more people listening to the show. And I keep getting asked why. I don't know why. We just keep showing up and doing the show.
Why.
But
yeah, we know why.
The World Series has been determined. I don't care if anyone else watches it. I'm watching every goddamn pitch.
It doesn't matter to you. You got the matchup. The one that you were like, oh my gosh, could you imagine if it was Texas and Arizona? Could you imagine what happened?
I can't believe it.
That's what actually happened.
I can't believe
was Texas and Arizona. I mean, it's
unreal.
Doesn't make any sense, but it happened. it went down that way. My favorite thing about today is that basketball's back. I love the NBA. I love the Celtics. I've always been a huge Celtics fan, and getting Boston back tonight. Bruins are playing. Celtics are playing. Patriots are kind of playing, but it's fun when you have October. Just is a really fun month when you get all three, and now we'll have the World Series, which will be a lot of fun to watch that. Got a lot of Red Sox rumors flying around as to what's going to go on with them. So we'll watch and see. They get a new GM and then maybe Ohtani and see how that thing goes. So.
Show's going to the moon. If Ohtani goes to the Red Sox, the fucking show is going to the fucking moon.
We may be going.
We got a show called Boston versus the Book right there that we named on a whim. We said, let's put this together. Let's do this. It became cool because of the logo, the hats, the BVB. It's cool. But if Ohtani goes to the Red Sox,
look out.
People listen and watch the show in Japan now.
Right.
This will be nuts. Nuts. I'm secretly kind of rooting for it.
Watch the ads for New Balance during the World Series.
To the moon.
That is who Ohtani is the face of. New Balance main headquarters is across the street from TD Garden. You can see
the fucking moon.
You can see New Balance's headquarters. Literally, my stepdad's best friend, his wife, is the executive assistant to the head of New Balance. So I've already said I want whatever Ohtani New Balance stuff you guys produce. I want one of everything.
Times two. I need it too.
Get it all.
I'll go there myself and we'll get it all fitted. I'll pay whatever they want. I'll get it all.
We'll blow it out. It'll be absolutely phenomenal if it happens.
Can you imagine if he goes to the Boston?
We'll see. Winter meetings, everything else. We'll see what happens. It's very, very possible. We are back tomorrow. That is for sure. Thursday, we have NFL football, college football, NBA, NHL, all sorts. Really fun time of the year. Thank you for being here, even on the late start time. We appreciate it. Back at the normal start time, 11 p.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. ish Eastern time for a Thursday's BVB. Matt